Based on a true story, High Roller is a hard-edged drama about legendary card prodigy Stu Ungar. A life of promise, though, was quickly wasted by an endless struggle with internal demons. Stu Ungar was a professional gambler, and he was considered to be the greatest poker player of all time. I viewed some short documentaries on YouTube about Stu Ungar. I learned more about him from those documentaries than I did this movie, High Roller. The film doesn't do a good job accurately depicting Stu Ungar's life. It's just kind of a showcase of a bunch of random points in his life. High Roller suffers from just going all over this guy's life, and you don't have time to really connect with what's going on. To make a whole film about him when it doesn't seem like there's much material aside from him playing poker, Stu Ungar didn't really need a movie like this made about him, especially one that is as predictable as this film is. The movie is kind of puzzling because it's weighed down by trying to be this point-by-point retelling of certain events in his life with just no build-up or payoff for any of it. But also, it isn't an accurate retelling of this guy's life at all. It's clearly influenced by movies like All That Jazz and Goodfellas, except those are much better movies, of course.
See, your murderers come with smiles. They come as your friends.
They know if you win, it's just temporary. So they buy you your room and your dinner, and they smile and wait for you to lay your money down again until eventually you lose.
This film has voiceover, but it isn't giving any more context to the movie that I think is really important. It just feels thrown into the film.
Now, you could be a good player and do the right thing all the time and do okay, but a great player knows when to make a move.
The film stars Michael Imperioli, who is most famous for his role in The Sopranos as Christopher Moltisanti. The Sopranos podcast is a good podcast that is interesting to listen to, and Michael Imperioli gives lots of insight into the making of both The Sopranos and even High Roller, which is something I did not expect. Some questions asked him about the film.
I wasn't a big Texas Hold'em player. I still am not. I prefer kind of straight poker. I'm not a big Texas Hold'em guy. I worked with two very famous poker players. Doyle Brunson, who's maybe the famous poker player, and a guy named Chip Reese, who passed away a while back. I went to Chip Reese's house in Las Vegas, and him and Doyle Brunson were there, and they knew Stewie. That was one of the reasons I met them. They played with him, they were friends with him, they gambled with him.
You did a great job, Stu Ungar. The movie should have did better than what it is, and they had the film festival, and remember they rejected it. I think it was I forget what it was called, the Las Vegas Film Festival, and it was rejected for some reason. They played it twice and they packed the theater. And for some reason, it wasn't a full audience. I don't know why that is.
I don't know.
The original title for this film was just Stewie, but it was later changed to High Roller, the Stu Ungar story. You can tell this movie isn't going to be good just from the opening credits. Ransom Gates. The director's name is A.W. Vidmer, and this is his only credit. This is the only movie he has ever worked on. A.W. Vidmer does not even sound like a real name. I guess they wanted to start it with the poker stuff and also with Michael Imperioli with the classic look that they put on the DVD cover. Yes, I did buy the DVD for this film. Commentary by Michael Imperioli, director A.W. Vidmer, and poker expert Vince Van Patten. Music video Yesterdays by Mark Eric.
And I was living at the Hard Rock Hotel for a month, which I went pretty insane. I'll be honest with you. Playing a gambler, shooting 15 hours a day. Then I'd get home from work at like 3 a.m. and go have a drink and sit at the blackjack table till I wasn't sleeping. And then I'd go back to work. It was nuts because there's music, rock music 24/7. It's, you don't know what time it is. And I'm playing a gambler, so I felt like gambling. I pushed it to the limit.
You really fell into the Stu Ungar character.
I did, yeah.
After the really boring opening credit sequence, we cut to Michael Imperioli sitting in his motel room, and there's this guy.
I'd say I'm a 20-to-1 favorite to slice your fucking heart out before you're off the bed.
Sitting in a chair by some blinds with some really cheesy lighting.
Don't get all lathered up, Stewie.
He's supposed to be this man in black figure, and he's ultimately supposed to represent death. So Stu Ungar talks with death as he's sitting in the motel room bed.
A god. Or a legend or something.
That bona fide fucking legend.
Now the film transitions into the next chapter, which is the prequel story of Stu Ungar when he was a young boy getting beat up by a bunch of bullies. They're, I guess, trying to get lunch money from him.
Give us the money, Ungar.
All right, just let me up and I'll give.
So then he holds out his hand and he drops the change and he kicks the kid in the nuts and he runs away. I guess young Stu Ungar went to that same women's self-defense course Bobby Hill attended. But I'm going to play the tiniest little snippet of music from this scene. Tell me if this sounds similar to any kind of theme song you've heard before. The editor must have been a really big fan of Power Rangers to just drop the Power Rangers theme into the movie like that. And then he runs to his dad at work.
No. It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
You mean that move we talked about? How?
Drop some change. It worked perfect.
Where'd you get him?
That's like the code for I hit him in the nuts. He like looks down and goes, and gives a little cough.
Hey, sorry, Stewie got that fat-ass bully Scheinberg kid right in the tchotchkes.
The tchotchkes? And why would the dad be so proud of his son for hitting another kid in the tchotchkes that he would tell his coworker? And then the guy looks over and says, congratulations.
Tchotchkes.
Congratulations.
I love it. Oh, beautiful. That's it, kid. That's how you're gonna do it. You're smarter than all of them. You don't have to be big when you're smart, right? Hey, Stewie. This was special.
You come into my office and tell me you hit another kid in the tchotchkes. This was special. What does he do next? Tell the guy on the phone that his son hit some other kid in the tchotchkes?
My kid. He just kicked the Scheinberg kid in the balls.
The Ungar family is on vacation. For some reason, the director is in this scene. Then young Stu Ungar is given money at his bar mitzvah. Then there's this awkward cutaway to Stu Ungar getting slapped by his dad because he's using the money to play poker that happens off screen.
I'm sorry, Pop. I didn't mean.
You didn't mean? You didn't mean? Let me tell you what I mean. From now on, no more club, no more cards, no more track, no more nothing. You understand?
Vincent wants me to.
They're trying to establish the fact that Stu Ungar was abused as a kid, I guess. Then they develop that Stu Ungar has this kind of older mentor father figure called Vincent, who's much nicer to him. They have one scene before they cut back to the Ungar household, and the mom is watching TV with this really awful lighting, and the dad is drinking. They all of a sudden establish the fact that he's an alcoholic.
No, Pop. I don't.
Oh, you don't want us.
You're talking crazy, Pop.
And the thing about it is, it's my fault. I brought you down there. I introduced you to that mashugana gangster Vincent.
The acting is just hokey in this scene, and they keep cutting to the mom in the other room with the shitty lighting.
You're good in school.
I hate school. It's boring.
And she's just watching TV, listening to them argue.
You don't like football. You don't like anything except those fakakta cards. You're gonna kill your mother this way, Stewie. One way or the other, you know that.
Mom likes cards, Pop. I help her with her games.
One scene goes by and the dad is dead. And there's this line of dialogue that establishes the fact that he was cheating on the wife, which they never established in the film at all.
He was with a slut, Vincent.
Look, man, why don't you just fucking kill me or break my legs or whatever the fuck you're gonna do, because I've had enough of this shit.
I'm tired of these damn scenes in the motel room.
Most kids my age would piss their pants with $5. I was walking around with $2,000.
What the fuck do they add to this film?
No, for leaving the goddamn table. This was what I was meant to do. This was where I was supposed to be.
Pat Morita is in this movie. He is most famous for his role in The Karate Kid, which is a pretty classic film. They even remade it with Jaden Smith and Will Smith. So Pat Morita's about to play, but he thinks he's playing someone else. Then Stu Ungar pops out from the side of the frame.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Stu.
And it's so bizarre because he just comes out of nowhere. Him just speed walking into the frame like that. Did Pat Morita see him walk in?
Kid can lead.
Then they play poker, and it's this montage, and they're playing this song that's really bad about Lady Luck or something.
This Lady Luck.
Lady Luck, I gotta give a buck, and I don't give a fuck.
There's a comic up there that's a prick named Steve Sweeney. He could go fuck himself.
Well, I don't want to get to the cause of the depression, but what I did was I went to a veterinarian the other day, and the guy said, "Where's your dog? I said, "My apartment's too small. It wouldn't be fair to the dog." He said, "So what are you doing here?" I said, "I want you to put me to sleep."
He could go fuck himself. Thank you for listening, and remember, new episodes are released every Monday.
Wait a second. You go right from telling Steve Sweeney to, now, all right, thanks for listening. You just told the guy to tell Steve Sweeney to go fuck himself.
So they're going down the street, he's counting his money, and he's distracted by a girl who's walking by, and he loses count. That is kind of funny. He goes on a date with this woman, and after he drops her off, he's approached by these random gangsters who want money or something. I don't even know what's going on. They don't do anything to him, and after they leave, the girl just invites him in. So more boring shit happens, and we cut to Las Vegas, 1973. His friend has a broken arm now for some reason. I guess he owed someone money, but you don't see it. That happened off screen. Stu plays golf with one of his poker friends. I'm not even sure what the joke of this scene is supposed to be, because he hits his ball into the water and then he holds up the tee and the guy's like, "Son of a bitch," and the music goes da 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 da. Huh.
Too deep for you, Stewie. You'll drown.
So he's the worst, right?
This is what funny scenes in movies do. Huh. 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 So the movie's basically made for people who are into poker, because there's so many damn scenes in this movie of Stu Ungar just playing poker.
Oh my fucking God. You could have turned either one.
Michael Imperioli has said that this movie is mainly catered to poker players, and it's really a poker player's movie.
It's kind of become a cult thing among gamblers, High Roller. People love that. Gamblers love that movie. It's a good movie. You should see it if you haven't.
The game of poker can be really fun in a movie, I feel. For example, in the James Bond movies, there are many poker scenes. Something about Casino Royale especially is they really exaggerate the hands that they get, which makes the poker game far more interesting. We cut to 1986, and Stu Ungar now has a daughter.
Uh-oh, did you break something?
Uh-oh, did you break something?
This is the scene where Stu Ungar has a racist outburst.
Oh, kiss my ass,
Boy.
Mr. Ungar, please.
Look, honey child, why don't you go get some fried chicken, okay? And shut the fuck up.
I don't have to take this shit. Floor.
Mr. Ungar, please.
Oh, Bob, go fuck yourself, okay?
Security, get him out.
Why don't you just fucking kiss me, okay? Because you've been fucking me all night anyway, you black fuck you. You son of a bitch, fucking donkey.
Get out! Kick your damn right ass! Let them kick you shit ass!
Piece of shit.
And it just cuts off right there. Piece of shit.
Piece of shit.
Stu Ungar gets home and finds out his wife left him. This whole scene is presented in one long take as he stumbles around the house. And then for 10 minutes or so, nothing happens in the movie.
It's good. No shit. It's really good.
It is, isn't it?
Pat Morita appears for one more short scene.
Oh, love the glasses.
Then in the next scene, Stu Ungar is reunited with his daughter, who is in her 20s now.
Daddy? You okay?
Yeah.
They had one scene together 15 minutes ago, and she was like a 5-year-old. And that's the end of the movie. They play some sad music. Stu Ungar is playing some poker and they zoom in on shots from him that are reused from the beginning. And then they cut back to the motel room thing and the guy opens the door to reveal a bright light, which is supposed to be a metaphor for him going to heaven. In conclusion, High Roller, the Stu Ungar story, is another obscure, awful movie that I've managed to uncover. I, of course, like many of the people involved with this film, including the main actors like Michael Imperioli.
Sure you got enough hair to do this, buddy?
Amateurish, inaccurate, inauthentic. It feels incomplete. It's incoherent. Any other in you can think of. You can also watch Stu Ungar for free on YouTube if you want. That's partly why I reviewed it, because you can check out this movie very easily. It's very low quality on YouTube, which is why I bought the DVD of it to review it, so I could get a little higher quality. But that's how I actually discovered the movie. One night I was just going through YouTube and I saw Michael Imperioli like on the thumbnail and it said High Roller Stu Ungar story, and that's when I was like, okay, what the fuck is this? and about 10 minutes in I'm like, alright, this is like review worthy. This is something and you know, I watched the whole thing on YouTube in like 360p and I loved it, and that's what inspired me to get the DVD and to make this review. Thanks for watching. I appreciate the support as always, and I hope you got a kick out of the really funny bad movie, or at least I thought so, Stu Ungar, and thanks for watching.